Our Story Productions presents Cooking It Up with Betty, a saucy look at our stories. So, get ready for the one and only Betty Thompson!
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cooking It Up with Betty. And what a show we have planned for you today. I will be making a special dish with the help of my special guest. We'll be having reports from my What's Cooking reporters of what's exciting out there in our story country. And without further ado, let me introduce my special guest from right here at Kluk Television, Sergio Ferleone, the program director of Kluk Television. Welcome, Sergio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, but why am I here?
I don't have a guest.
What?
Yeah. Do you see a guest anywhere? I don't see a guest anywhere.
I do not see one.
Well, I needed a guest, and you were in the building, so you're the guest. Are you not the programming director? Are you not the one who's supposed to make all of the arrangements for all the guests that are supposed to be on my show? And I've had quite a few that didn't show up, and then one that did show up. Boy, she was a real pimp. That Destiny, she was a disaster.
Why Destiny did not work out for you?
No, not well at all.
Oh.
Enough. We're on camera. Smile.
Camera?
And Lewis is motioning for us to get started.
Started what? The show?
The show.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that was exciting. Without further ado, let's get started here. My special reporters out in the field.
Yeah, I've heard all about them.
Well, they go out and they find special places, and one of the places they find are wineries.
Oh, I like wine.
Would you like to try this? This is from Corn Silk.
Oh, I see.
Yes, indeed. I can't wait. This is
very nice aroma to it.
This is going to calm my nerves after that start. With no guest.
Yeah, I tell you what. You seem to find the quirkiest little wineries. They're just so much fun.
Well, yes. Well, my reporters out in the field, they find wineries along with everything else. Yeah. Let's go to a report right now and find out what's exciting out there in our story country.
I would love to.
Oh, Abby Appetite here, head reporter for the What's Cooking team, making a list for my reporters to do stories on about the restaurants, cafes, diners, supper clubs, and bakeries in the small towns of the Midwest. You can see them all on KlukTV.com. Hey, let's pick one out and go there together. Remember, you'll be traveling with an appetite. Abby Appetite.
Oh, I really like those reports. And you know what? Seeing all those reports made me a little bit hungry. Are we going to be cooking something today?
Well, of course we're going to be cooking today. If I had a guest, they would be, right in there. But I'm still cooking.
Great.
And in your honor today, I'm making a hot dish. This is Czech potato mushroom hot dish. Wow. And my great-grandmother was Czechoslovakian. And so this is in my new cookbook, Hot Times in Betty's Kitchen.
Wow. So tell me, how many cookbooks do you have?
Well, I have about 12 of them out already, and I'm working on another one. All right, I've done some pre-prep already, Sergio, and I have a layer of potatoes that have been pre-cooked in the bottom of my hot dish, and now I'm adding a layer of mushrooms that have been cooked in butter with a little onion and secret seasonings.
Wow, what secret seasonings, huh?
Oh, yes.
What's in those secret
seasonings?
Well,
the actual seasonings are a secret. However, these little black seeds you see here, that is very typical of Czech cookery. Okay. And that'll give the flavor. Now we're going to put another layer of potatoes on there. Would you like to put?
I would.
Put a layer of potatoes on there.
I love putzing around in the kitchen and stuff, but most of my stuff's mainly with I open a box and I put it together.
Well, a box mixes and such are very handy to have, especially during the week when you have a busy schedule or such. Make sure you get some right in the corners there.
And I am a busy guy because I have a lot of guests and stuff to book all the time.
If you book guests from you wouldn't have to worry about that.
The director of it.
Yes,
creative
indeed.
Director. I have a lot of duties and responsibilities and things like that.
Well, I'd like to see you do the duties for everyone, not just for certain other shows. My guest are important too.
And if they're important to you,
They are
they're
important.
important to me.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you understand that because it doesn't seem like you've understood that before. Okay, let's get them a little bit more in this corner
Oh,
here.
sorry, yeah, of course.
Yes.
And then do I have to spread these out then?
Well,
Or?
we're going to spread them out and we're going to, kind of pack them down just a little bit with the back of your spoon there.
Now,
And while you're doing that, I'm going to start the egg and the milk mixture because you're taking good-natured time there.
Now, do you cover the entire? So you want this a nice
Well,
thin layer of potatoes?
Yeah,
huh?
there. Okay, you got the, okay, that's about, well, don't.
oh, boy.
A little bit
Oh.
extra,
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
now we're gonna put the last layer of the mushrooms over the top of that. And then
Okay.
we'll finish off with potatoes once more.
Okay. And then you want me to do that?
Yeah,
Well,
do that.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing the eggs here.
Okay.
In this little bowl, I have 2 eggs,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to add to, I see I'm mixing them
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Just a little bit blend. And I have a half cup of milk and a half cup of half and half for my milk here.
Okay.
And that's what's gonna hold our casserole all together.
And you say this is a
Czechoslovakian dish.
Czechoslovakian dish. All the way from,
My great-grandmother's recipe.
I see. Well, it looks, it's pretty simple. It's just.
It is.
It's just
And it's-
potatoes and mushrooms
and onions, but
what-
it's
those secret sauces, I
It's
bet.
the
that
secret
really-
ingredients. Very good.
And-
Okay,
and do
that's
our-
good. That
Okay,
looks good.
okay.
Now we're going to finish off with the potatoes here. I'll put this back here.
Oh,
Go ahead
so
and put
I gotta-
a little more potatoes on top and then pack it down with the back of the
You
spoon.
must be really making it work because of that whole guess
Yeah.
thing, huh?
Yes, well, I guess that's enough. Just put it on there.
Well, I want to make sure it's right.
Well-
I want to make your Czechoslovakian grandmother happy that
Well,
we're making this dish.
What can I say, Well, that looks good. That looks wonderful.
It does.
And we just
It
got to
does look
pack
good.
it down a little bit because we don't want it to bubble over in the oven.
Now, do you put this on a cookie sheet or
You
anything
could.
like that?
You
or?
could. You could put it on a cookie sheet, or I usually put a piece of foil underneath it just
I
so
see.
it catches, and it's very quick to clean up then.
I see.
Okay, now we're going to pour. This is the egg mixture, and this is what's going to hold our hot dish together. Would you
Okay.
like to pour that over
Certainly.
there? And if there's a little bit left over, don't worry. Don't put it all in there because we don't want it running over on the counter here.
Okay. Wow.
Doesn't that smell good?
This is going to be. This is going to be good.
Oh yes, and it's wonderful. It's it's so nice because you can put it in with a meat, any kind of meat that you want to, and this is a good side dish. Or you could use this as a vegetarian main dish because of the combination of potatoes and mushrooms.
I see.
Okay.
So do you ever put like cheese or anything like that on top of it? Or?
Cheese would be acceptable on top of that. Now this has to bake for 45 minutes. So
Wow.
while we put this in the oven to finish baking, let's go to another one of my What's Cooking reporters.
That sounds great. Let's do that.
All right.
Lenny Leftover here, just returned from the road. I and my fellow What's Cooking reporters have discovered incredible restaurants, cafes, diners, supper clubs, and bakeries in small towns. Now you can learn what we've learned on KlukTV.com. I found them so incredible, the only leftover was I, Lenny Leftover.
We're back, and while our hot dish is finished cooking up in the oven, if you at home would like a copy of the recipe, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope and $2. You will get not only the recipe, but you'll get the secret seasoning packet. Or you can go online and you can get the recipe there. Of course, you'll have to buy the secret recipe, seasoning recipe separately.
And that's always,
That is the
that's a
best
given.
part.
You know,
That's a
and
given,
I got
yes.
to tell you, I really have enjoyed cooking it up with Betty. It's just been a
Well,
fun time, and I'm
yeah.
glad I was a guest.
Well, I'm glad that you finally showed up. And
I'm
I know,
a busy guy though, Betty. And,
excuse me, this is part of your job.
I
This
know.
is part of your job.
and I'm sorry I let you down.
Well, I'm glad you were here. Thank you for being here.
Maybe I can do this again sometime.
Well,
This is kind of fun. I kind of like it. Cooking
well,
it up with Betty. It's kind of fun, isn't it?
Betty is quite fun to be with. But I need a real guest make sure that you get a real guest here next time. And I know even though this was Czechoslovakian, and I assume, you're probably more familiar with Italian with your last name and all.
Well, yeah. Well, I grew up, I was raised by my uncle, so we didn't really get a whole bunch of the Italian cuisine. Like I said, everything was like, kind of out of a box. But
Well, I'm sorry to hear
maybe
that.
we can do some Italian cuisine or something together.
Maybe you and I could meet sometime and I'll give you a little lesson at home.
Well, okay.
All right. Well, I see that we're out of time. Thank you for being my guest, even on such short notice.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you to my home viewers, and thank you to my roving reporters. And come back next time for another exciting episode of Cooking It Up with Betty. Bye now.
Bye.